Flyers beware. If you're buying plane tickets to certain cities, you'd better shop around for airfare or risk paying far too much for your tickets. MarketWatch's Catey Hill is here to tell us about some of the cities where you may get gouged on airfare and how to avoid it. Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, pretty good. I really like this one. What are some of the airports that we should put on our radar?
So Washington, D.C. is #1. There is a ton of price variability here. So it averages more than 20% price variability with coach seats. So that means you're sitting next to somebody who probably paid a lot less than you often. So you just have to worry about that. But yeah, Washington, D.C., Chicago's on the list, Los Angeles, Oakland, Myrtle Beach, those round out the top 5. Those are the cities where the price variability is huge. I mean, it averages typically more than 20% price variability. Remember, that's the average, so sometimes it's going to be a lot more price variability.
So you say one way to keep airfare down is just to be flexible. So tell us about that and other ways that we can avoid being gouged.
Yeah, look at different cities, right? So if you're thinking about flying into DC where there's a ton of price variability, check out Baltimore. It's about an hour drive. So look at those kind of next door neighborhood, airports that are close but not that close. So you could do that. Also, search incognito if you can, because if you ever notice when you search for an airfare and you're like, oh, it's $3.50, and then you search again an hour later and you're like, no, it's $3.60. If you search incognito, sometimes you can avoid those little tiny price hikes, because when they know you're interested in the airfare, sometimes they'll raise it up.
Oh, I see. Okay. So what are some of the airports that you think we should be least worried about?
So these are the airports where the price variability is very low. Hawaii, a couple airports in Hawaii, Orlando, West Palm Beach, Indianapolis. So those are where the prices don't tend to vary a lot. These tend to be leisure markets, whereas the ones where there's a lot of price variability are business markets. That's because business travelers tend to be they'll absorb the cost more likely. They have to go to this place on a certain day and they're willing to pay more. Whereas leisure markets, people are like, it's too expensive to go there, I'm not going to go there, and so there's less, so the prices are kind of more stable there. They stick to where they started with.
Okay, so I've always heard that Tuesday was the best day to buy a plane ticket. Is that the case, or does it vary?
It varies a lot, actually.
Okay.
I mean, Tuesdays and Wednesdays tend to be the best, but you can't make those broad generalizations. So everyone likes to have a simple answer to everything. But there's a news site, relatively new, called hopper.com. You can put in where you're going, and it'll send you a report. Here's the best time to book. You should fly now. So I actually like that. If you're thinking about taking a trip, go on there and say, I want to go LA to New York, and it'll give you a report that says, hey, this is the best time to book your ticket. This is the best time to go. So that's a simple way to do this, because if you just always think Tuesday and Wednesday, you might get gouged on price.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Katie.